how to find a positive cash flow property in commercial sector. In this video, I am going to uncover what are the things that you need to do and how you can find a positive cash flow property in today's world. So if you are somebody who is thinking that positive cash flow is not possible and I cannot find any positive cash flow property, then this video is for you. So watch till the end. Alright, so whenever you are looking for a commercial property, let's understand few things. First of all, to get a positive cash flow property, we need to look into something like this. Let's say you are looking for a deal. Right now, you are getting a 6% return. 6% return means 6% net return. Now, 6% net return if you are getting, which means like if it is $1 million property, 6% net return is the 60,000 net return. Now, 60,000 net return, if the lease is little bit longer, could be positive cash flow property. Let's break it down. First of all, you would be taking about 70% from the property itself. So that means 700,000 of that $1 million that you will be taking it from the property itself. $700,000. Right now, if you take a 70% commercial property, while I'm recording this, which is the RBA repo rate is about 3.85%, which means plus 2, you would be able to get a commercial loan around 5.85, 5.9, around this range. Now 5.9% is the interest. Commercial property, you would be always taking an interest only loan, so that way you only pay the interest to the bank. Now the property is giving you 6%, right? 70% that you have taken from that property itself, but the remaining 30-35% that you have to pay, right? This is how it is become interesting. What you can do is that if you have other investment, say let's say if you have other residential properties, if you have any kind of your own home, a principal place of residence, you can tap equity from there, let's say 20-25% of that money. So if you tap that equity of 20-25%, then that becomes like a 90 or 95% loan. Now what happens is that if you can tap the equity from your own principal place of residence or other investment, perhaps their interest rate is around 5.5% or 5.7%. At this time of recording, I'm saying. Now remember, there's a big disclaimer is that if tomorrow interest rate goes up, in other words, let's say if the RBA increases his repo rate, RBA rate, and that goes to from 3.85 to back to 4 or 4.5, then of course your interest rate is going to go up. Similarly, if the RBA repo rate actually reduce that interest, which is like it goes down to like 3.5, which most people are predicting at this stage, in this year it is going to go down to 3.5. In that case, your interest rate is going to go down as well. So it's a variable thing, right? So you need to be mindful of that. That being said, right now, let's say 5.7, 5.8, if you can tap the equity from your principal place of residence or from your other investment property, that gives you total 70 plus 20, 90% loan. So you can literally take 90% loan and the remaining 10% or 15% if you have stamp duty and other cost, that let's say if you have. So right now, if you want to buy $1 million commercial property, if you have, let's say $100,000 or $150,000, you can make this as a positive cash flow property. How would you do that? As I said, 70% you are taking 5.9%. The other one that you are taking, let's say 5.7, 5.8%. Then the remaining 10% or 15% you are paying from your pocket. So that way, of course, if you paid from the pocket, so you are not paying any more interest to that, the cash that you deposited. And then all of a sudden, you'll be saying that your 900,000 loan is actually asking for let's say around 50,000 payment, 50,000 of interest payment, and you are collecting 60,000. So all of a sudden you are having a $10,000 positive cash flow. And this is how you stack a deal, and this is how you actually make money in commercial property. Now a lot of people will say that, yes, Somen, I understand this is very simple. Yes, it is simple, yet find out how many actually commercial property positive cash flow you have done something like this. And if you are already doing it, kudos on you, good on you, congratulations, and keep doing this. But if you are not, think about how you can stack up like this. Some of you, or perhaps you already have what I call the lazy equity, which is not earning any money. Yes, you can take that 5%, 5.5% interest rate, and then if you can buy 6%, sometimes 7% return, then all of a sudden you are making more money. Commercial property is all about buying, or rather solving problem, and buying problem and then solve that problem. And if you are thinking out of the box, and if you can think in that, you can always buy positive cash flow properties. And remember, next year that 60,000 or 70,000, whatever be the rent, that is going to go up according to the CPI increase, which is like that 60,000 might go up to, like, let's say 62,000. That 70,000 rent might go to 73,000, based on how the lease is structured, what are the things that you have put together in the lease, and the rent is going to go up according to the what is written in the lease. This is how you create a positive cash flow property. This is how you make that a deal to a positive cash flow. And if you do not know, then what I would suggest you to look around, come and talk to our team, and then we would understand your situation and will be able to help you to find a positive cash flow deal. I hope you find these videos helpful. If you like this video, consider subscribing our channel, turn the notification bell on so you get to see more videos like this, and it will also help us to reach out to more people like you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.